Hey everybody, Barbecue Tom here. Today we are going to talk about reverse searing a steak. I have about 1.5 pounds of aged AAA Canadian tenderloin that I've just cut up to roughly equal pieces. And the first step in this reverse searing process is to rub in some sea salt onto your meat. Just want to get it in there. Don't worry about the stuff that kind of spills over. You can mop that up with your meat. And don't worry about over salting. You want to be pretty generous at this point. And the reason why is because you're not putting this stuff directly on the grill. You're wanting it to absorb in. So I could probably be a little bit more generous than I am being, but it's salt, and I'm a little bit nervous about over salting, but I shouldn't be, and I know I shouldn't be, but regardless, my family wouldn't let me hear the end of it if I over salted steak twice, and I already made that mistake once. So there we go. Just add some of that nice sea salt. You could use kosher salt or whatever you got. Just pat it in, get the sides done. Use the steak to kind of clean up anything that you got. And then once you've done this, all you have to do is let the steak sit there. You can put them on a plate, put them back in the fridge if you want. You can let them come up to room temperature, whatever your preferred method is, but you let them sit there nice and salted for about half an hour. And what that's going to do is initially the salt is going to pull the moisture out of the steak, and then it's going to be reabsorbed in, and it's going to further tenderize the meat. And that's your first step in this whole reverse sear process. Okay, so now we're going to get the grill set up for indirect. I'm using this MAPS torch, the Benzomatic TS4000, to get the grill lit. My second Joe Blow, I don't know if you can hear me there, my second Joe Blow failed on me, so I decided I'd go another route. So this is what I'm doing. See, I've got the ability to keep the flame on and just bring the torch in, and because I'm doing a low and slow indirect cook to start out with, I'm just going to do one spot in the middle. Got the egg all opened up. And you can see it doesn't take that long to get it started, but I do kind of feel like the Joe Blow got it going a little bit quicker. So I think when I run out of the MAP fuel on this one, I'm going to upgrade to a heat gun, which can normally be bought for about 30 or 40 bucks. I believe this whole kit cost 50 bucks at Lowe's. So I'm going to try a heat gun and see which one works better. You can see the sparks going. This is the Fogo charcoal. Okay, so she's going. That took about, 2 minutes. Really cool part about the reverse sear is because you're doing the first slow part at the beginning, you can add some smoking chunks to your fire. So my fire is up at about 200 right now. I'm just going to add some smoking chunks, put the plate setter back in, and that's going to add a really nice, in this case, mesquite flavor to the steaks. Okay, so that smoke is going great. We're very close to 200, and it's been almost half an hour, so I'm going to get ready to put those steaks on in just a second. Normally, if you were doing a reverse sear and you only had one grill, you would cook them low and slow at first, and then take the steaks off, let them rest, and while they're resting, you would get your grill really hot, 500, 600, 700 degrees. I do it a little bit different because I've got my Mini-Max here. So right about when I'm ready to put the steaks on, I get my Mini-Max going. And I'm going to go ahead and get her up to about 600 degrees while the steaks are cooking. And what that'll let me do is, instead of cooking them, resting, and searing, I can just cook them and sear them right away. Okay, so you can see how some moisture has been drawn out of the steaks as I sat with the salt there for about half an hour. And it's already started reabsorbing. So if I had finer grain sea salt, I think it might even look a bit better. You can still see big chunks of salt. Hopefully it's not too salty, but I'll let you know either way. And then that's it. So I could have probably done a better job keeping these more uniform, but it'd also been easier if I just got the butcher to cut it for me instead of doing it myself, but whatever. So just going to put them there, like I said, indirect with the plate setter. I'm going to go ahead and stick a temperature probe in. Set that there. And then using my little chef alarm so high we don't. We're actually looking to cook these at about 120, and we'll do the last bit of cooking to get it up to medium. There we go. So set temp. Okay. And we'll do that last bit of cooking while we sear on the Mini-Max. And Mini-Max is, you can hear it there, it's getting up to temp. So that's it. Now we just wait and salivate, I guess. Okay, so the steaks are just about, there we go, they're ready. And the Mini-Max is just about 500, so that'll do for some nice searing. I'm just going to go ahead and put the steaks over on this. Okay, so I've moved them on right over the hot coals. And you want to do about a minute aside. So I've got them nice and close together. And if you want some really cool grill marks, then what you can do is just flip them after about 30 seconds each. They're not the prettiest grill marks, but they're there. So you can see they've got that, they look a lot better than they did when they came off. And it doesn't hurt to hit the sides either. I'm just gonna stand them up like that if you want to. Flip them back, kind of twisting them. And there you go. Okay, so this isn't, the best sear. Ideally, I would have gotten the Minimax started a little earlier than I did, so it would have got hotter, but you get the idea. They've been resting for about 10 minutes now, and they've gone up to 136 degrees, or at least this one here has. So I'm going to try and cut this one-handed and give you a peek on the inside. Yeah, so it's a nice medium. Ideally, I'd have a better kind of crust around there from the searing, but the premise is still there. See if I can get that autofocus for you. There you go. That light makes it look like it's well done, but it's not, I promise you. So it's juicy, it's cooked well all the way through. It's a perfect medium, and just the outside is a little bit overcooked from the searing process, but again, a darker, more flavorful crust would have been better. But that's it. That's the reverse sear. Like I said, I used the Minimax. If you don't have two grills, then the process is a little bit different. You cook it indirect until you get it to about 120. You take the steak off, you let it rest, and then while it's resting, you open up the grill, get it up to 600, 700 degrees, probably about 600, and then you put the steak back on and do the searing, about a minute per side. And if you cooked to about 120 to begin with, then that minute per side will bring you up to 130. Let it rest, you'll hit about 135, 136 for medium. Step back about 5 degrees in each step if you want it medium rare. And that's it. If you really want to get fancy, you can put a cast iron pan on the grill, get that up to temperature, and sear in there for a more restaurant look. You could add some butter to it and kind of get a little bit fancy, Gordon Ramsay style there. Really, it's up to you, whatever you prefer. But reverse sear is pretty much the best way to cook a steak, in my opinion. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.